The first problem that we're going to look at is question number 1. It's just a system.out.println, which from now on I'm just going to call SOP to abbreviate. But what we have here is a simple math expression. Notice all of these numbers are integers. So remember in Java with integer math, if there is a decimal part of the answer, it gets thrown away. And also we follow PEMDAS just like you do in a regular math class. So for PEMDAS, the order of priority is that division, multiplication, and the remainder operator have higher priority than addition and subtraction. So when we have mixed operations of these things, we just work from left to right. So I've rewritten the entire expression inside the SOP and I've numbered. So working from left to right, I would do this division first, followed by this remainder operator. Then I would do this multiplication, this remainder operator, and then finally I would add the two numbers together. So 17 over 5 is 3 point something something, but since this is integer math, we have 3. So we take 3 and the remainder 3. So 3 goes into 3 one time with a remainder of 0. So this whole expression simplifies to 0. Then we'd come over here, 17 times 5. Well, I did that work over here. 17 times 5 is 85. Then I have remainder 3. So 3 goes into 85 28 times with a remainder of 1. Remember that remainder operator means give me the remainder. So this is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. So that answer is A. The next question is a little tricky. So it's showing you this method process where it appears that we take a string S and we take parts of the string and concatenate them together. But when we look at this code here, we say string S is ABCD, and then it wants you to process S and then print S. Well, in my solution, I have made note that S is ABCD. Because strings in Java are immutable, meaning once it is created, it cannot change, then if we go back and look at the problem, when we print S, S has not changed. So that's why we print ABCD. So moving on to question 3. So in question 3, suppose M is a two-dimensional array of size 4 by 4, with all its elements initialized to zeros. What will be the value stored in M after fill M is called? The method fill is defined as follows. So public void fill, and I'm sending to fill a reference to the two-dimensional array M. Now it says int n equals m dot length. So since we're a 4 by 4, then n is going to be 4. So then I have an outer loop and an inner loop. Notice that both the inner and the outer loop start at a index value of 1. Let's take a look at my solution. So I've drawn out what this two-dimensional array looks like when we're 4 by 4. For the rows, the index values go from 0 to 3. And for the columns, the index values go from 0 to 3. I've also made note here, I goes from 0 to 3 inclusive, J goes from 0 to 3 inclusive. I've also identified the outer loop and the inner loop. Both of them start at an index value of 1, not 0. Also notice that the condition I is less than n minus 1. So for in case of the outer loop, that would be I is less than 3. And for the inner loop, J is less than 3. That means as soon as I or J reach 3, the condition goes false and the loop ends. So since I is less than 3, that means when I is 3, the condition goes false. Same for when J is less than 3. Therefore, look for a 2 by 2 matrix of 1s that does not populate any row or any column with a 0 or a 3 as index. So valid locations would be anything bigger than 0, less than 3 for I, anything bigger than 3, less than 0 for J. And so that combination of values is 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, and 2, 2. That's where the ones would be, so the answer is C. And that's what you're showing here. Okay, question 4. Which of the following statements will result in an index error? Syntax error. So this is the correct way, a way to instantiate a string. Integer x equals, you're trying to assign an integer to a string object. So that one is pretty easy. That answer would be B. Okay, question 5. What is printed as a result of executing the following statement? So this is a problem involving casting to ints when our math operators are doubles. So we can see x is a decimal, y is a decimal. X is 2.5, y is very close to 2. So if I say int x divided by y, so since x is bigger than y, I know that this is going to be 1 point something, something, something. But since we're going to cast to int, this is 1. Now, the next operation is x times y. Now, 2.5 times 1.99 is rather complicated. But 2.5 times 2, if we round this up to 2, is about 5. So I know that x times y is going to be 4 point something, 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 something. But when I take the integer of that, the answer is 4. So 1 plus 4 is 5. So the answer is E. Continuing on, let's look at 6. Which of the following expressions is true if and only if not all 3 variables A, B, and C have the same value? All right, so my solution here, first of all, I wanted to review something called De Morgan's Law. So De Morgan's Law is for logic operators, and it's like a shortcut. So if I have an expression like this, if I have not quantity A ANDed with B, that's equivalent to not A ORed with not B. Similarly, if I have not and in parentheses A or B, that can be simplified to not A ANDed with not B. So we're looking for the expression that's true if and only if, that's what IFF means, if and only if, not all 3 values have the same value. Not all are true or not all are false. Now, please make a note. These problems are not difficult but take a lot of time. So when you get on the AP exam, skip them and come back to them at the end. So for A, I'm going to test A not equal to B ANDed with B not equal to C. So in my example, I selected B equals true, A equals true, B equals true, and C equals false. This is false. And notice these are not all true or not all false. So then I tried A not equal to B ORed with B not equal to C. And I get a false ORed with a true, which is true. So that's why the answer is B. Question 7. What is the result when the following code segment is compiled and executed? So I have M and N are ints. I'm asking to take the square root of M plus N, which would be 9 divided by 2, which would be 4 because of Java math. So the square root of 4 is 2, but we're assigning it to a double, so the answer is 2.0. So when I print that, 2.0 is displayed. And that is what I'm showing here. 5 plus 4 is 9 divided by 2, but this is Java math, so the answer is 4. Take the square root of 4 is 2. Make it a double. The answer is 2.0. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and I will begin another one.